family law at the solicitors Slater and Gordon. Morning to you. Prenups in this country are still not hugely common, but what sort of people do you have coming to you talking about them?
We have a variety of people. Obviously people that have heard of prenuptial agreements and want to find out more what they're about, whether they're binding or not, and also people that have built up quite substantial wealth prior to marriage and they are keen to protect it and want to enter into a contract to ensure there isn't a dispute later on if they were to separate or divorce.
This is complicated though, isn't it? Because even if the Law Commission's ideas are put into place, it is not an absolute guarantee that what the prenup says will happen in court.
The Law Commission's recommendations basically say that they will be binding unless they have not met somebody's needs. Needs are paramount and must be met. So when parties sign a prenuptial agreement, if circumstances change in years to come and that party's needs are such that they require more monies, then they could argue that the prenup should not be binding in their case.
So what sort of things do people put in prenups? Is it about money mostly?
Predominantly, but some people put who gets the cat, who gets the dog. Certain things are very, very important, animals being one of them.
Essentially, when people come in, I can imagine situations where, possibly a second marriage, that's what we mentioned, wasn't the idea of coming to a second marriage, maybe there's children involved, and you want to ring fence a portion of what you have at that point for your existing family. Is that the most common reason people have for seeking some kind of arrangement?
Yes, I think people that have been through a divorce before, the turmoil and the expense, don't want to do that again. So will do everything they can to put protective measures in place to ensure that assets acquired prior to that relationship are ring-fenced. And it is something that we highly recommend.
Have you seen it from the other end? I mean, you've seen somebody had a prenup, then get divorced. Does it help?
It does. Again, it depends on the circumstances of the case. We had a case in 2010 where the court upheld a prenuptial agreement, and we are basically saying to people, they're better than nothing, you should go ahead with it if there's any sort of uncertainty. But we're tending to find that it is more people that have got assets to protect that are going ahead with prenuptials. If you haven't got anything to protect, why have a prenup?
And the whole principle relies on you have to disclose a great deal, don't you? I mean, some people might find that difficult in itself. And also, people's finances are complicated, aren't they?
Yeah, I think when people come in to see me and I talk about the factors that lead to a prenuptial being binding, one of those is there must be disclosure. So some people find that totally unpalatable. They haven't discussed finances with their partner. They might not have told them that they have rental properties, for example. And that very often is the reason why people do not proceed with the prenuptial.
But they might also be under the impression that if they haven't said anything about it to someone, that somehow that will never become part of any future agreement or divorce settlement.
Yeah, I mean, as lawyers, we're very careful to ensure that people are made aware that if there is a material non-disclosure, then that could affect the enforceability of the prenuptial agreement.
Do you think we'll get some more of them, people going for them more often?
I very much doubt it at the moment. I very much do, yeah. I think in the States, United States, everybody does it. But again, in this country, I do think we're still old romantics.
What a positive note to end on. Thank you very much.
Time now is 8:52. Let's take a moment.